Hi everyone, and welcome back. Okay, I was gonna say 0. So what we're doing here is we've got all this to do today. So let's get started here. I don't remember if there's an entrance on this side at all, but gotta take care of Rift here. Very good. And we have a level up. And a claim. Dennett. I don't care if it's the best land on the farm. The farmers remember the old ways and the old blood, and will honor that, just as honor you twisting the old horse nail into the circles and sneaking them into the horse's saddle for luck. If the farmers want to leave that tree to honor a Teres, leaf-earned lover, we'll let it be. And whatever we lose from the land will gain in loyalty. If it comes back and finds the tree gone and you and Barn blustering some story about it fallen in a storm, I'll get the truth from Cinna, and you'll be sleeping in those stables you love so much. All my love, Elena. Okay. So now we're going this way. I'm going to go up and around. Hello, kitty. What you want? You can lay there. I don't mind you laying there. New region. Nice. Note found on a corpse. Birgit. Sorry, I had to move a cat. It'll be worth it. You're worried too much. I've seen you hunt. You and that bowl go together like the maker and Andraste's sweet bosom. And there's nothing in this world that'll keep breathing after you take your axe to it. And believe me, once you've gotten enough of the bear claws, and remember, they needed to be big, really good size ones. I don't want you coming back with some cub slashers and a side dog grin on your face. We'll make something that will make both of us rich. Think of your girls in Redcliffe hanging on your arm, Birgit. It's a strong arm, my friend, strong enough to kill 3 big bears and bring those claws back. You take care of that, and that arm will have a nice lady to wrap around at night. Good luck. Don't come back without the claws. Jasker. Alrighty. Lots of stuff. Alright. Really? Oh, you're making this very hard, honey. Down you go. Did not know there was people there. We're not gonna be left alone, are we? Alright, so a statue of Mathroth grieving after his death of his wife, the proper Andraste, whom he betrayed out of jealousy. What do we miss over here? Oh. Where? Okay. I want all my stuff over here before I travel back. If I can get it. There we go. I don't need the iron. So I used to be a mage. No?
Nicely done. The Veilfire may prove useful.
Well, I was expecting you to do it. Excuse me, guys. 12. take.
The Veil Fire must be making the runes legible.
It appears so soulless. Appears so. Alright. Remember how to get out of here. We'll be back later, but we'll be back. I believe we gotta go this way. Come on. There we go. Oh crap. Consolation. Paralakis? I don't know, clue. Referred to as voyage in the common parasol. The Consolation Paragus is commonly deciphered as a ship. No ordinary ship, but rather the primitive vessel sailed by ancient peoples such as the Necromans. The translation from ancient Devine is usually across the sea, and lends credence to the idea that the Necromans came to Thetis from elsewhere, although most reputable scholars dispute this, especially consider those ancient people would likely have named these stars long before they undertook such a voyage. From the study of Thetis, astronomy by Sister Oren Petrus. So we got one more of those. Another shard. Okay. Stuck. Okay. And now we're heading here. As the ram follows. Okay. A letter at the abandoned campsite. Come to me, my love. The dreams have guided you this far, and now I write these words with your own hand for you to read when you wake. You are so close. Come to the tree on the hill where the stone lady stands, bearing Flanders, so that I know so I know you, and we will finally be together forever. Oh, are you serious? Breaks my heart every time. We don't need to go up there, but we will go here.
Let's look around.
Thank you. Now, where's our next spot? Oh, that one. This one first. Okay. Got it. Okay, so this is where we're gonna actually use our horse now.
You've got an odd style, Solus. Your spells are...
Damn. Hopefully that conversation will come back. Did I jump it? Nice. Right here is fine for you, bud. Perfect. Okay, so guys, we're gonna do this here quick. Should we go talk to our companions here quick?
Was there something you needed?
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
I should get to know you better. We are working together after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
Okay, how to act for well then, my esteemed Lady Cinna. I'd like to take full responsibility for Lady Charlotte's odd behavior of late. You see, we recently began studying of history. I thought it would do the young mistress some good to be exposed to all famous cultures and not just always. It was a foolish lie. Regrettably, your dear daughter has taken a particular interest in Ferelden folklore. She first developed an affinity for King Callahan, which seems to have devolved into borderline infatuation. She stared at me, eyes wide, when I told her how he unified the barbarians with his alleged incomparable might and charisma. Every time I tried to move the lesson on to something more important, she insists I tell her again about Callahan. how the Ferelden say his hair was twice as yellow as the sun, and his chin more chiseled than the tallest peak in the Frostbacks. Twice now I've had to tear down drawings she tacked up in her bedroom of the man shirtless. Then we moved on to werewolves, which was even worse. As you may already know, the Ferelden ventured the fork hero Dane and Hefter. Dane was said to have been a werewolf and Hefter to have descended from one. No enlightened man or woman could ever view such a beast people with anything but revulsion. But you know Fereldens and their love of wildlife. Unfortunately, these tales of wolfmen settled the little mistress's imagination afire, which is thus we put on a play for you and her lord father. I could not say no. I'm afraid that's why Marshallette was running through the mansion wearing wet furs and frightening the chambermaids. She was rehearsing the scene in which Haver drives back the Darkspawn. I've been informed that some priceless family heirlooms were destroyed amidst all the confusion, and I cannot fully express my dismay. I understand if my objection failure as a tutor results in my intimate dismissal. A letter from Brother Bernard to his former employer.
I grew up in Ferelden, near Hongley. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
Few who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order, but Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently, I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
I'll let you return to your work.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Yes?
Okay, let's see here.
May I ask you about the Chantry?
It is difficult to say what becomes of the Chantry now. They have no Templars, no leadership, and no one left who is worthy of succeeding the Divine. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come.
Do you really believe the Chantry is worth preserving?
I do. Though I understand how someone born outside of human society might think otherwise. Cast the Chantry aside and new problems replace old ones. we will have learned nothing from history. The people need stability, and the Chantry needs a new purpose. Andraste had a dream for us. It can still be achieved.
So, what should this new purpose be?
A dedication to what is truly important. Instead of building cathedrals and sewing gowns for the divine, the Chantry used to spend its coin feeding the poor. If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world, we must do so with open hearts and open hands.
That sounds rather idealistic of you.
Does it? I do not think it's so unachievable. The Chantry has many good, honest people. They just need direction and inspiration. They need to be freed from centuries of adherence to tradition and ceremony. A chance for renewal is at our fingertips. It does not have to come with utter chaos.
What influence does Chancellor Roderick really wield?
He's a bureaucrat, responsible for communicating the Divine's will to the rest of the Chantry. Therefore, he's accustomed to the clerics hanging on his every word, hoping his influence will benefit them. Despite that, Roderick is not a bad man. He's frightened, and believes his place is to fill the gap left by Most Holy's death. Some might agree. As far down the chain of command as he is, there is no one left above him.
How big a problem could he be?
No more than he is already. He sent his message to the College of Clerics. That is the only card he had to play. Dealing with him further only lends him credibility he doesn't deserve.
Will the Chantry replace Divine Justinier?
They will try. Once the priests withdraw for the Grand Consensus, it is against Chantry law for them to emerge without naming a new divine. Sometimes it takes days, or weeks, or even months. The problem now is that no clear successor to Justinia exists. All worthy clerics died with her at the Conclave.
So what happens if they can't agree on someone?
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them or they see reason. Practically, however, if the Grand Consensus goes on too long, the Chantry will crumble. Any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
If they do choose a new divine, will you serve her?
That depends on whether she would have me. I am a rebel now, remember? And even if she would, I do not know. It would depend on what type of divine she is. I am no longer in a position to follow blindly, and no new divine could expect such obedience now.
I'm surprised you rebelled against the Chantry.
I left my own order when they took the wrong path. It is no different. But in neither case did I stop caring. Indeed, I care so much that I feel drastic action is necessary. I suppose history shall one day judge my actions.
Thank you.
Alright, and...
What can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about the Kunari.
You writing a book?
What I've heard about them sounds fascinating.
What you've heard was mostly horse shit. All right. What do you want to know?
How do the Kunari rule themselves?
It's pretty simple. We've got the matriarchy, the priesthood, and the military. The priesthood figures out how Kunari should live in theory. The matriarchy makes it work in practice. And the military keeps the Kunari safe from outside threats.
Does it actually work like that? Is there much infighting?
Not like you're thinking of. People disagree, yeah, but the priests are there to solve disagreements. Here in Olay, politicking comes from people putting their own gain ahead of the gains of society. If you do that among the Kunari, the Ben Hasrath set you straight, or kill you.
How is everyday life different for Kunari?
Depends on your job, I guess. Some are just about the same. A baker in Val Royeaux gets up, gets dressed, and starts work. A baker in Parvolan does the same thing. They don't care about the Empire or the Q. Mostly they worry about breaking eggs and hope the dough rises right.
It can't be exactly the same. The Kunari have no personal freedoms.
How many personal freedoms do you figure that baker in Valroyo has? Life isn't about freedom. The baker in Parvolin wonders if she'll be given enough eggs to do her work. Will they come on time? Will the kitchen workers get her bread while it's fresh, or will they come late and blame her 'cause it's stale? Same crap in Valroyo. People are just people.
What's it like growing up under the Kun?
The Tamasrans raise us in these units of kids all our own age. They're like teachers or chantry sisters. They also help figure out what jobs we should do. They had me pegged for military work early on. When they learned I could hit stuff and lie, they started training me for the Ben Hasra.
So the Kun decided what work you would do. You didn't get a choice.
I could have acted like I didn't like hitting things, I guess. But why would I do that? I was good at my work. I liked doing it. Far as I can tell, the Tamasrans made the right call.
I've heard there's no marriage among the Kunari.
Yeah, that's true. Kunari love our friends like anyone does, but we don't have sex with them.
Kunari don't have sex.
Oh, we definitely have sex. They're Tamasrans who pop your cork whenever you need it.
Seriously?
Yes. It's not a big deal like it is here. It's like, I don't know, going to see a healer. Sometimes it's this long, involved thing. It takes all day, leaves you walking funny.
Jesus.
Other times you're in and out in 5 minutes. Thank you. See you next week.
That sounds different.
Yep. Still, it's more fun here. Fewer rituals, more making it up as you go along. Plus, you folk have redheads. Redheads.
Do you ever think about what would happen if the Kunari conquered Orlais or Ferelden?
Some folks, like Cassandra or Cullen, would do fine if they didn't die fighting. Those two love rules. But the mages... Can you imagine Solus trying his fade dreaming under the Kun? Or Vivian doing her political bullshit? Both Sarah and Varric would mouth off until they ended up re-educated, drugged until their minds broke. So, to answer your question, no, I don't think about it much at all.
The word Kunari, is that the race or the religion?
Both. Kind of. The humans and elves who follow the Kun are the Vidathari. The Kunari who break away from the Kun are Talvasha, deserters.
What about Kunari who existed before the Kun?
The people we came from. They're called the Kossith, but we don't use that word for the race. We came south to Thedas because the Kossith were... I don't know. We had to leave. The stories aren't clear. But I don't expect they look much like us. Whatever they are.
See you later, Bull.
See ya.
Perfect. Okay. Really? Okay, Black Wolf. The scouts report activity uncharacteristic of Lupin behavior. The breach and the result rifts have caused unpredictable disruption in the Vale. Such alterations to the environment may account for the unnatural aggression. If this is indeed the case, I cannot yet say how widespread the impact. How many wolves does this environmental imbalance influence? What threat do they pose to resist members of the pack? To the local population. This warrants further investigation. Report submitted to Seeker Pentecost by Mage Apprentice and Inquisition Researcher. Mages are not demons or monsters. They are men and women like any other. Except for their skill with a weapon, few are given. I'd say this to be clear that I do not think all mages should be put to the sword, as some believe. However, every mage walks through life with a blade drawn and ready, whether they wish it or not. Those who insist that mages are harmless must ask how the apostates who flee fire when the Templars attack learn how to kill so well. We in the Academies know well that no skill comes without practice. If you fight a mage, you must close with him, regardless of the danger, or risk being overwhelmed. A mage's strike rarely hits with the force of a trained chevalian's blade, but often carries unnatural energies. Fire that boils a man's inside his armor, lightning that steals the strength from his limbs, and so forth. To hold back is to give him time to alter the battlefield to his advantage in some fashion, whether he summons a wall of ice, a demonic ally, or magical flames to strengthen the blades of his guards. We know that the warrior who controls the battlefield is more often the victor. You must keep him reacting to you and continue your attack. Mages wear heavy armor, but their magic can shield them as efficiently as our own plate. I have said many times to watch the hips and arms of your opponent instead of the hands, but with mages, the hands and the arms may be your only clue. If his body is protected from your blade, attempt to tangle his arms or bear him to the ground. It is not elegant or honorable, but there is no honor when fighting a mage. There is only survival. Okay. I missed one. Bruisers. A warrior wielding a great blade strikes terror into common soldiers, but to a chevalier, he is no greater danger than any other opponent. A skilled warrior is struck down by a maul or a battle axe in one of three cases. In the first, he is taken unaware in the heat of battle. In the second, he cannot evade the blow because of the nature of the battle or his own injuries. And in the third and most common case, he is struck down because he reacts poorly. We do not train enough against two-handed weapons because we disdain them ourselves. I think this is a mistake, and in time, I hope it is corrected. I have seen too many skilled warriors die because they see a great maul coming down at them and raise a shield to block it instead of deflect. I've seen men lose their composure due to fear or anger and engage such a warrior directly, thinking they can risk a blow to their body as they would from a light sword or a dagger. In the heat of battle, even the trained mind will think such things. Those cannot overcome such thoughts die. You must watch the weapon, but only to gauge its length. Otherwise, as it all fights, the opponent's hips and shoulders will tell his intent. The great weapons are dangerous only when he moves or poises over his head to strike. You must give ground, but only against true threats. If he advances but is not truly prepared to strike, you must rush in, cut him, and withdraw to your guard before his blow is ready. It may take 10 cuts to kill him. Even after the 9th, he may cleave your head from your body if you do not respect the distance he can cover. If using such a weapon yourself, mark your distance and do not allow yourself to react to an opponent outside your reach. You cannot recover your guard as quickly as you can with a sword and shield. Keep your weapon moving and measure your blows. A stuttered step on your strike can fool many opponents into thinking you're out of range and then rushing their defense. In this manner, you may kill most who stands against you. Fighting in such a manner, you may feel more like a butcher than a hero, but the living may console themselves while the dead cannot. I think that was it, right? The Transran. Nanny Goodwin lay on the hard stone of Kirkwell's docks until the sailor left with her purse. As she struggled to her feet, a large gray hand reached down to help her. It was one of the Konori, the great horned giant who had come to live in the city. I thank you, said Nanny Goodwin hesitantly, looking for her satchel. I did not know the docks were so dangerous, or I would have asked one of Lord G. guards to accompany me as I brought healing herbs for the children. You are a Tamasaran, said the Konori, under the Kyun. No sailor would accost you. Why are you here? I am but Lord G's nanny, Nanny Goodwin said, and Lord G did not believe me when I told him that the children needed healing herbs, so I was forced to buy them myself. Under the Kyun, said the Konori, Tamazans are trusted and listened to when caring for the children, and any healing herbs they need would be provided. Why did Lord G not attend to your words? He is a noble, Nanny Goodwin said, and I'm merely a servant who cares for his children. She shifted her shawl to hide the bruises the sailors had given her, as well as the bruises Lord G himself had left. Under the Kyun, said the Konori, all are equal, and no Tamaran thinks herself a mere anything. Nanny Goodwin bid the Konori a good day and returned to the high town with much to think about. An expert from the lies of the nobles, the truth of the Kyun, Arthur unknown. So little. Okay. The Lost Art of Veilfire. Though it is an elven magic, I submit that the Veilfire is worthy of consideration, for they perfect it at the height of their civilization. Certainly mages often use it as a source of light, for its flame burns without wood or oil. It can also activate dormant spells, which has its uses. Veilfire turns potential, however, is a medium for writing. Veilfire rune conveyed more than the literal meaning of their text. Veilfire can transfer a tangible impression of sights, sounds, and even emotions on the reader. With diligent practice, any mage can learn this astonishing technique, but compared to the ancient elves' example, current works are crude. I hope this book will guide those who, like myself, would rekindle an interest in the delicate art. Together, let's rediscover subtleties lost to the ages. From Veilfire, a beginner's primer with numerous teaching, exercises, and applications by Magister Pentas. Okay. We're not reading those. Okay. Let's see what we got for horses. We got nuggies, we got nuggies, we got nuggies. I don't like those. I think because they're weird, but I like that one too. Yeah, these are not my cup of tea, although they're very hauntingly beautiful.
Travel safely.
I do like that.
Please send visible.
So? We're gonna have to go through our people, huh? Okay. Let's see what we have, you guys. Enhance whirlwind. What is... Okay. That's fine. Dude, what do you have? Okay. Okay. I don't have anything there. Whoops. Everybody got belts? Okay. Good.
I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
If the history you pursue benefits the Wardens, then it was worth it.
You've proven yourself to be an honorable woman. Principled. I've great admiration for you, and I've never been more certain in my decision to join you.
There will be opportunities for us to do even more in the future.
Then I look forward to it.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
The Blight's been over for 10 years. What do Wardens do when the world's not ending?
There is still Darkspawn. Just because we killed so many in Ferelden doesn't mean they're gone. And the world is not so peaceful that there's no use for good men with swords. Sometimes you have to figure out for yourself what the pledge to protect others really means. It's not always about just archdemons and blights.
Where were you during the Blight?
I was in Ferelden, on my own like always. Quietly killed my fair share of Darkspawn too.
You haven't had contact with other Wardens for a while. Why were you on your own?
It's what I've always done. Recruitment only requires one man. Besides, I've always been a loner. Works best for everyone that way.
So you have no idea where the rest of the Wardens are?
Do you find that odd? The Blight is over. We don't need an organized force. And orders don't change much from day to day. For the last 1,000 years or so, it's been just find Darkspawn, kill them, repeat as necessary.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
Alright, let's see if this actually works here.
Walk safely, Harold.
Oh, they did. That's nice.
Good luck sealing those rooms.
Thank you. I'm gonna need it. Do you have anything to tell me?
Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Are you from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free marches. Born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no. Kirkwall's not that bad.
Excuse me.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
If you've run a spy network, why is Leliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
You're an author. What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
Maybe.
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in moneylenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. I won her from Paragon Smith Bronca in a game of Wicked Grace. She was such a sore loser. Ran off to the deep roads in a huff, and that was the last anyone saw of her.
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Very well.
Thanks,
And that was a
Eric.
new one.
No problem.
Won it off of Bronca.
You see that new elf who joined up?
Chasing mages? That's a Templar's job. A big armored,
put your
pissed-off
eye
helm
out.
polisher.
I didn't mean anything.
Not too late to go find some.
It's good to see us
Or
all
stay
coming
home.
together to serve the Maker.
Never thought the Inquisition would be recruiting thieves to its ranks.
Tell me about yourself.
What about me?
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Usually it takes considerable discipline. Hence my question.
Hence. Look, I work at it. Practice a little. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Well, it's not like that for other elves, I know that.
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden?
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
There are no connections you want to mention at all.
Nope.
How very Kunari of you.
What?
Never mind.
Good, right?
I'm just interested in talking to an elf like me.
Don't think so.
Why not?
Well, maybe you're alright. But most elves are too... elfy. Like that's soulless, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
I think there's more to it than that. A few thousand years more.
Hey, someone wants to be angry about old debts, be angry. Be a terror that never lets an enemy forget. But if you're digging it up so you can wear it, that's just weird. I mean, you Dalish don't really know. You have stories, but that's all they are. It's all fancy dress, not history.
We'll talk later.
If you say so.
Codexes. Sarah. Okay, so we read this part. Adam Denerum. Sarah claims to have lived in Denerum cannot be verified, but it seems likely. The lineage there was neither stable nor secure. Many residents of the cities fled the region following the Blight. Given her nature, Valru would have seemed rife with targets. Denerum had more its share of suspect nobilities, but most were rallied against a common enemy, thanks to the efforts of the hero of Ferelden. Force 2, more like it. Shits and double shits. Okay. Solus?
What can I do for you?
Let's see, what do we have left to...
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal, from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
I'd like to know more about the Breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created deliberately.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade. But according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality. Where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful. And the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I'd like to know more about demons.
The Chantry says that demons hate the natural world and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living.
Sorry guys, I'm getting tired now.
Is that wish gone wrong?
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them? If not in peace, at least without such active confrontation.
Not in the world we know today. The Veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Right here? Yes, I don't think we read this one before. When first I summoned her, she was a rose, withering, unchanging, and unthorned, a spirit of the purest love one knows, who never hated, coveted, or scorned. A second time I drew her across the veil and shared a walk, a dance, a stolen kiss, with such a perfect beauty, pure and pale, no woman could compare, no man could resist. Then in my weakness I essayed a third, though magisters their warnings did impart. She broke my bindings with a single word, and said this smiling as she clutched my heart. Through love I was, your passion's changing fire has forged the spirit into cruel desire. Sonnet 126. The Lover and His Spirit, from a chantry from a chant for dreamers by Magister Ortus. Someone's snoring in there. It's been a long day. We've been tired. Good thing it's Friday tomorrow, but then again I have to work the weekends. So. Well, I'm not the only one that doesn't really care. Anything to update?
Anything I should know? I've nothing to report at the moment.
Okay, we're good.
I'll leave you
Liliana.
to your work.
Okay. Let's see.
Apothecary is...
We still don't have enough for that.
It's about damn time. I don't understand. Even the... What's going on? Heaven
Don't care if I talk to her. At least not right now.
I don't know if Apothecary...
Sigrid says it will cost at least 10.
Fine.
Not sure why you would want to pay.
Good day to you. How do you and Liliana know each other?
We moved through similar circles in Orlais. I believe we actually met in Val Royaux. Liliana was quite an accomplished player of the game by then.
What exactly do you mean when you say the game?
Forgive me. The game refers to the slow duels of influence among the noble and powerful of Orlais. It's a rather light-hearted name for the matter, but Orlesians are fond of playful touches.
We're good.
Let's speak later.
Another time.
There's so much going in my head that I want to do. And I'm not quite sure if we're running out of time. Let me check. Give me one moment. So, yeah. We are out of time. So until next time, and then we'll continue with the farmstead. See you guys. Bye now.